I don't usually do videos about injuries. And it's because there's so bloody many of them. And I don't use injuries to say, oh, this team's done, somebody got hurt, or oh, yay, this guy, like. So, I mean, I cover it when I do previews and reviews, depending on what I saw and depending on whether or not I think it's key. Patrick Laine, it's very newsworthy due to the fact that he's out for 4 to 14 days, meaning he likely doesn't win the Rocket Richard Trophy. So, Ovechkin should be able to win the trophy now. He was, I think the next highest is 39 goals, and he's got 44. So he should be able to get to the Maurice Richard Trophy with a minimum of 2 more goals. I would think would do it. I hope he gets to 50. I was kind of hoping Laine would get to 50. This is one of those storylines I was looking at and saying, yeah, this will be interesting. Now, it's a bruised foot, but they're being kind of evasive about exactly how or what's going on. And it's a suggestion or a question that I had. I believe it came via Patreon. About how vague teams are about injuries. And it is an interesting topic. And yes, teams are intentionally vague about injuries. Upper body and lower body. It's to the point where there was one injury last year. I'm trying to remember which one it was. I think it was Carey Price, who, when they asked about an injury he had, the coach's answer was, well, yeah, it's on his body. Yeah. Yeah, it's a physical injury. Yeah, that's it. That's all I'm giving you. So why? The question was asked was why. Look at Erik Karlsson last year. We knew he was playing on one foot, and teams really drilled him. And it's cruel, but hockey's a physical sport. So if you know that a guy's coming back from an injury and you know that it was a shoulder separation, you might hit him a little bit harder on the right side or the left side, whatever side that shoulder injury was on. Oh, he had a bad ankle? Be a shame if I managed to hit it with my stick or whatever it is. This is why they don't talk about injuries. This is why they make them as mysterious as possible with their origins, how severe they are, how long. And part of it is, too, when teams are planning for going against the Jets. Let's just go with Laine. Go back to Laine. Let's say Laine's got a broken foot. And it's not just a bruise or a bone bruise, it's a broken foot. And they know he's going to be out for months. Well, you don't want to bring your team down. You don't want to bring your fans down. And maybe going into the playoffs, let's say they're against Minnesota, you don't want Minnesota not planning for Laine. So you want them to think, hey, we have to at least acknowledge he could be back in the lineup at some point. So we have to have our game plan with him in the mix. It's a weird way of looking at it, but this is how hockey does it. Because it's a physical sport, because teams can target an injured area, this is how it works. You don't tell people exactly what the injury is. You don't talk about the severity of the injury. You want to make sure that it's as vague as possible. So when I hear this about Laine, and at first you're like, well, he'll probably be out for 2 games. And now Paul Maurice today was like, he'll be out 4 to 14 days. A week from now, we could hear he should be back for the playoffs. It's just one of those things. This is how they do it. And I understand it. It's weird. The only part that's weird to me is when you see a goalie go down and it's clearly a groin strain. And they're like, lower body. And it's like, well, yeah. Because he was doing the splits and he got his leg hyperextended. And that's not good. That's a bad thing. A guy drills his shoulder into the corner. He gets drilled as hard as possible into the corner. And you'll hear, it's an upper body injury. Yeah, his shoulder was out of the socket. You could see him holding his arm like this as he went off the ice. Or a guy gets hit. It's a head on head, or it's a shoulder to the head. It's a head first impact. Guy goes down to the ice. It looks ugly. He's kind of woozy when he gets up. He's taken off the ice by a couple of guys. And then you'll hear upper body injury when it's a concussion. It's really weird that they do that with the obvious injuries. But again, this is just the way they do it. So hopefully that's enlightening. And for Jets fans, I do hope Laine comes back for the playoffs because I want to see Winnipeg do something in the playoffs. Let's all play nice. Let's all be friends. I do want to see them do well in the playoffs. I have 3 Jets hats and 2 Jets jerseys. We can all be friends. Everything's fine. Anyways, yeah, so with Laine out, it's going to hurt, but it's a Jets team that just got Scheifele back. It's a Jets team that's been dealing with injuries all year. So this is just the latest. Thank you very much from me and from the guy putting the siding on the house. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through and you just happened upon this video. And thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.